taking on Marv. But this is our first game we're going to be bringing you, Kuhn. Nicolas is going to be taking on MARCUZO.
Yes, this is going to be the first game we're focusing on. Remember, the last four, the best four PlayStation 4 players here in Amsterdam at the playoffs of the Global Series. Nicolas managed to get 7-0 in the Swiss format. For me, he is the big favorite. In his quarterfinal, though, for the first time, you felt someone could really give him a really hard time, and that was the Belgian Stefano Pina. Fun fact about Nicolas as well, he obviously was the PS4 winner in Barcelona. He is the only player left of these four semi-finalists, the only one making it through from Barcelona. The other three, so MARCUZO, Webb, and Marv, all made it through the last chance qualifying weekend.
Wow,
that's a crazy stat, right?
That is a crazy stat. He's the man that's been performing at these events throughout the year. Then he's the man to watch. He's been in these positions before, but I just want to touch upon, as we said, that quarterfinal. That was a crazy game. The first time we've really seen him tested. The first time we've seen him bleed, to be honest. You see, almost robotic in his actions so far in Amsterdam. But here we go. We're underway. You can see in the orange strip will be Nicolas and MARCUZO representing Manchester City, of course. Unfortunately, his teammate DETO was just knocked out, but he's carrying that sky blue flag at the moment as we're getting underway.
MARCUZO, I have so much respect for that guy. MARCUZO qualified through the last chance qualifying weekend, as I just said, but the way he did that was even more special. He won all of his 40 Weekend League games that weekend on the Friday. He has done that several times. He's played all these 40 games on the Friday, won them all. So Friday night, he was tweeting, guys, I made it, won them all. I will be there in Amsterdam.
He's straight out celebrating on a Friday night. If you put in a 40-0 in the day and you qualify for Amsterdam, there's only one thing you're doing, and that is going out celebrating. But one thing you'll want to be celebrating even more is being crowned the winner here at the Global Series playoffs in Amsterdam. You can see a little cagey affair, as we would expect at the start of this game. Nicolas going to be playing that possession-based game that we've seen him so much. One thing I want to keep an eye on is if he's going to be playing that 4-2-3-1, because we saw him change it up a little bit in the quarterfinal, moving into that 4-4-2.
I can tell you, he is playing that 4-2-3-1. This is R9 playing behind Luis Suarez. That's how I see the positions of his team lined up now. Hullet and Vieira as the CDMs, Walker right back here. R9 as his main cam, center of the pitch. Cristiano here at the right side of the pitch. Luis Suarez as his main striker. Ronaldinho from the left side.
Suarez then back to Hullet here. You can see the brain of Nicolas starting to tick a little bit. Ball inside, well defended though. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, you can see him winding up to let go of a strike on goal there. The two defenders converged and managed to get in the way of that first real opportunity for Nicolas. But I just find it so interesting to watch the build-up play of these players at the moment. You can see, as I say, how their brains are working, the opportunities they're looking for, how they're trying to maneuver the defense of their opposition. And that was nearly the first time that we saw Nicolas managing to find the key to unlock that defense.
Yeah, with the fast play, once they get to the edge of the box, that's what MARCUZO does now. Pele as his right midfielder!
Oh, the post denied him onto his right foot, and 9 times out of 10 you will see Cristiano Ronaldo bury that across goal, but the post, the width of a post is all that separates these players right now.
Oh, MARCUZO, we can see him smiling. Funny to see. That was a great attack. Slow build-up. He is playing the 4-4-2 formation. Pele as the right midfielder, right wing, you could say. Messi as his left winger. Pele brought it in. Cristiano Ronaldo with the shot, but he hit the post.
Now a chance for Ronaldinho here. Nicolas looking to answer back. An early scare for him in this game. I think that post probably still shaking, to be honest with you. The power that Ronaldo hit that strike with. But well defended again from MARCUZO, not showing any signs of breaking so far. Under the pressure that Nicolas is trying to put up. Good to see the heart rate monitors up again, just to keep you informed of the pressure that these guys are feeling and how that heart rate's going to change depending on the score, depending on the match situation. So keep an eye on that one. Nicolas at the moment seems to be feeling it a little bit more than his opponent.
Yeah, and that's a surprising thing, we could say. It was all on Twitter. Everybody was tweeting about it. The inhuman heartbeat of Nicolas, who is up front with Suarez now. Heartbeat still around 150. He is taking control of the situation. but no big chances yet. Maybe now with Cristiano on the right side of the pitch, but there's MARCUZO now, Mark.
Yeah, Ramos did a good job to get across. There was almost a little mistake there that let Nicolas in behind from MARCUZO. A misplaced pass, but again, apart from that one real opportunity halfway through our first half here, not too much to write home about as far as chance creation is concerned. Of course, these two players are going to be so equally matched. These are the 4 best PlayStation 4 players in the world on FIFA 18 left in this tournament. But remember what they're playing for as well. Not only a spot in that grand final, but also those seeding positions for the E-World Cup final in London. The better you do, the further you go in the tournament, the easier that run could potentially be when you get to London.
Some switches in possession, both of them losing the ball a little too soon, you might say. Something to emphasize.
Oh, Ronaldo's through.
Something I can emphasize later because it's 1-0 Nicolas.
Ronaldo just walks through the center of his defense. A shake of the head there you can see from MARCUZO. I'm not sure he's completely sure what happened there, but it seemed like the seas just parted and Ronaldo just wandered his way through. Straight in front of goal, the low-driven shot across the keeper, and Nicolas is up by 1.
He is so strong physically, that Brazilian Ronaldo, Lima, Nazario. And something to remember is that these players have had 3 days of FIFA. They have been here at the venue in Amsterdam for 3 days. Today as well, they have played their round of 16, their round of 8, the quarterfinals. This is their 5th leg they're playing, their 5th game of FIFA on the highest level. It takes energy as well. It takes energy. You're not playing as good as you might have played your first game of the day.
It's the energy as well. You remember, it's the pressure that all the games are under here. They're all elimination games, essentially. You lose, you go home. It's the end of your tournament. Yeah. Like that Swiss group, like we mentioned, you know, you get a few games maybe to feel yourself into how the game's going to be playing. You have to turn up here and just perform.
You have to turn up. You have to wait between your games as well. What do you do in that spare time between the games? Between your quarterfinal and your semi-final? What do you do?
Ronaldo.
Do you get some rest?
Into the box here, Ronaldinho loses his man with the ball roll, and for the second time, the ball roll creates the space for Nicolas. People have asked why he likes that Ronaldinho foot item on that left-hand side, and he's starting to show why.
Ronaldinho, 4-star weak foot. He blasts it in. I was just talking about getting some rest between your quarterfinals and your semi-finals. Nicolas isn't giving MARCUZO any time to get some rest.
Big ask here then of MARCUZO. He's been playing so well the last few days here in Amsterdam, but when you're coming up against a player like Nicolas, the way he's been playing, just a reminder, if you're just joining us, you haven't watched any of the action so far. Nicolas is currently 10-0 in the games that he's played in Amsterdam. He is yet to lose a single match of FIFA Ultimate Team. And as we enter half-time here in the first leg, the perfect tournament is looking very, very real for that man that was just on your screen. To be a part of the FIFA E-World Cup. We're down to the final 4 on the PlayStation 4. We had the Xbox. Megabit took home that title. The question that still remains here, after 16 players qualified, of course, from the PlayStation 4 through to our E-World Cup final in August, is who is going to be crowned the winner here in Amsterdam in our final day of FIFA 18 action. We're into the second half of the first leg. Of course, if you just joined us, the game here, 2 legs of FIFA 18. And the important thing here for MARCUZO is to not let this first leg get out of hand. We've seen if you can keep it tight in this first leg, go into the second leg, giving yourself a chance. We have seen these crazy comebacks, last-minute goals. You just can't lose the game in this first leg.
100% true, Mark, 100% true. He needs to remember, he can turn this around in 2 legs. He's still got 1.5 match to be played in this semi-final. Some important things. Again, Nicolas making 2 changes at halftime. So he's 2-0 up. He doesn't think, right, it's going well, I don't change anything. No, he changes 2 players. He's got Kante on, and he's got Neymar subbed in for Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, as we all know, not the best stamina. He's brought Neymar in as well. 5-star skill moves, that's what he likes. 5-star weak foot as well. 2 subs for him. And MARCUZO has brought Kylian Mbappé on. Don't think I've seen that before.
I was going to say, interesting to see Mbappe joining the action, not a foot item we've seen a huge amount of throughout the weekend. However, Nicolas sticking true to this, changing these centre midfielders. Bringing on Kante in that central midfield spot. He's obviously got that new team of the season, Goretzka, there as well. On the bench, waiting to come on. It won't be any surprise at all if we see him coming on towards the end of the game, just to give that injection of pace, those fresh legs when he's trying to see out games or trying to create attacks. But now this attack has been building for a while. Ruud Gullit now.
Man.
Into Suarez. Suarez with the drag back, looking for the shot. Oh, almost some contact from the defender there, but MARCUZO, having worked so hard to get that ball back, now just immediately gives it back away.
Mark, sometimes I'm sitting here with my mouth wide open, just looking at the choices Nicolas makes in the attacking sense. He just doesn't seem to make errors.
Man free on the edge of the box here, Gullit. Suarez with a little drag back, the strike on goal, but so many players back there.
Oh, MARCUZO.
MARCUZO giving it away once again, and this will be the third wave of attack. We've seen how deadly that Nicolas can be in front of goal. You cannot afford to give him all of these chances, but luckily he's managed to survive it and leave the scoreline at just 2.
Now, can MARCUZO just get a hold on the ball? Can he hold it for a little longer and maybe slowly start to build up an attack and get away from the pressure of Nicolas?
The ball away, didn't really get into too much of an advanced position there either. Defended again from Nicolas, something that we were highlighting last time that we were commentating over Nicolas and his gameplay. Is we give a lot of credit to his attacking play, how fantastic his goals scored has been throughout the tournament. We have to remind everyone at home, coming in today, he'd also conceded the least goals, 18 goals conceded.
Yeah,
that was all. I think the next closest was 26. I mean, as a statistic, I mean, as an all-round player, he really has been the total package so far here in Amsterdam.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Nicolas is showing the best of the best quality in both defense and in the attack. And here he is once again. He's got total control of this game. Against MARCUZO, MARCUZO has had such an impressive tournament so far, but somehow no one seems to be able to crunch Nicolas, to crunch the code.
Finally does get the ball back here. Can he form an attack here? Keep a little bit of this ball. Maybe get a goal back. Kylian Mbappe now bursting down this wing.
Wow.
That's the pace of Mbappe. He's going to go all the way around the outside. That's why he's picked Mbappe to come on and make the difference. The Frenchman with electrifying pace down that right-hand side.
Wow, what was that, Mark? We've seen so many fast players in this game. Of course, with all the team of the season players out now, there's so many players with, in their stats, 99 pace, 99 acceleration, but Kylian Mbappe has just shown me some pace I don't think I have seen before.
That was electric pace. That was unreal from Mbappe down the right-hand side, and now the complexion of this tie has changed once again. The deficit has been halved now. It's 15 in-game minutes left on the clock.
Wow.
I mean, as you say now, you know, Nicolas has got to change what he's thinking a little bit. And, you know, he's probably going to just try and see out this game, keep that 1-goal lead. What do you do right now if you're in the position of MARCUZO, though? Do you try and tie this game up? Do you try and push a little bit more? Or do you maybe just go into that second leg with that, knowing that that 1-goal deficit is all you have to overcome?
Yeah, he shouldn't take too many risks. That's it. He shouldn't go and take risks to try and equalize in this first leg. He doesn't have to. You're 100% right about that. He has that second leg. He needs to know. He will gain some confidence by this goal. He just shouldn't change a thing at this moment.
As we see there, that prime R9 removed from the action again here from Nicolas. Talked about his stamina. The only thing that really he lacks as a player.
Yeah.
See, MARCUZO, I think that goal's just relaxed him a little bit there. Now we're going to see if there is going to be another goal just before the end of our first leg here. Ball into the box, Ronaldo with a strike, and just like that, Nicolas answers back, and once again it's the man from Portugal, CR7.
We can see MARCUZO shaking his head. He cannot believe that shot went in. It's not even a big chance, is it, Mark? He shots with his left foot. It's inside the box, but it's far away from the goalkeeper. The left foot, it's somehow a volley through the legs of the defender. But it's a goal. MARCUZO can't believe it. We couldn't believe it either. but it's 3-1.
It's 3-1, and just when he'd worked so hard to get a real opportunity to get back into the game, the man from Argentina shuts the door at him once again. That's why he's so good. That's why he's so feared by all these players. Now you might see a reply coming in. Another opportunity, Sergio Ramos. Managed just to sniff out the danger, just as the... Looked like another strike was about to come in.
3-1, wow, that's gonna be a mental killer for MARCUZO. Just getting back in this game just before the end of the first leg, scoring that 2-1. You think, all right, I'm not in big trouble, but then there's the 3-1 early, immediately, and he must watch out now.
Ronaldo, ball rolls to find the space inside the box, lays it into Neymar. Is there gonna be another
end
of the... No, De Gea makes the save. No, comes back, and it's just deflected wide.
It's amazing to see the choices Nicolas makes at times in the attacking sense as well. He just does the right thing in any situation, it seems. That is a proof of the hours he has put into this game. He just knows what to do in nearly every situation. Every little touch, every dribble is in the right direction. Every pass is the right pass he had to give. It's amazing.
It really is incredible to watch. We're entering the last minute or so, plus added time at the end of our first leg here. Neymar, bullet bursting through the middle. You can say Neymar's looking for that ball back. Ramos again with an important tackle. We've said it so many times throughout the last few days, but maybe there's something more left in this game. Tries the Berber spin to try and get past his man, but that is going to be the end of our first leg here in our first semi-final, and it's the man from Argentina who goes into the second leg with a 2-goal lead.
Impossible. If Nicolas just loses the concentration for one moment, MARCUZO needs to finish the chances. He needs to be efficient, because there's a big chance he's going to get 2 or 3 chances. It's just about finishing them and not giving Nicolas chances himself.
Makes a very good point.
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Sounds easy, but when you're under this sort of pressure, in this sort of elimination game against a player of Nicolas's caliber, it's much, much more difficult than it sounds on paper. But
oh yeah,
it's going to be MARCUZO here. He's going to be playing in the purple kit here of Manchester City. Nicolas going to be playing in the blue from left to right. Yeah. Early possession for him. You can see the aggregate score as well. Let us know who you think is going to win this one at home as well. Use that hashtag FIFA eWorld Cup. We always want to hear from you guys. Get those tweets coming in. Well, this is exactly the pattern of play that we'd expect to see from Nicolas. He knows he's got that lead at this point.
Oh yeah,
he's almost going to be stressing possession even more than he normally does.
He is taking it slow, obviously. Just letting MARCUZO maybe even get frustrated. Just making it uncomfortable for him. Now MARCUZO is here with Pele. Let's see. MARCUZO still playing the 4-4-2, I think. Messi on the left, Pele on the right. It worked for him in that first half. Scoring the goal, hitting the post, of course, with Pele and Cristiano Ronaldo. That was in the first half.
Big chance.
This is the first half now.
Great block. Ball falls back to Ronaldo. Gets the drag back away, but the recovery tackle came in from Sergio Ramos here. Of course, these two players have already matched up here in Amsterdam, and it was Nicolas who took home the win. So, go into form at the moment. But we are seeing a decent start here in this second leg here from MARCUZO. This is what he needs to do. Does unfortunately just search for a ball maybe slightly earlier than he would have wanted to if he could have another opportunity. Finding that pass. It's the ball away to Nicolas again. And now keep an eye on that game clock in the top left-hand corner. Currently at 14 minutes. That's around when Nicolas has got this ball back. It's going to be very interesting to see when he loses it. And it's going to be pretty much immediately. Great play there from MARCUZO.
You were mentioning something great. I mean, everybody would have accepted it before this tournament if you told him you'll go 5-2 in the Swiss format. That was a nice thing to say, because Nicolas managed to win all of his game, and that's something that could affect MARCUZO's confidence. Not in himself. MARCUZO will be very confident about his own gameplay this tournament. He want to think, I can't do it, I'm not playing well. He doesn't think that, but he does feel like, shit, nobody beat Nicolas here. How am I going to do that?
It becomes, it's intimidation, isn't it? As soon as you see Nicolas, even on your side of the bracket in a tournament, you start thinking, oh, there's a chance I'm going to have to play this guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes
that's right.
It can change the way you play before you even start playing. I think a perfect example of someone who overcame that when we look back at the Xbox was Rasu. You know, he came up against F2 Tex early on, he beat him, and from then he went strength to strength. He didn't care who he played. From then on, a big result can completely change the tournament.
He beat literally everyone, just not Megabit. He beat Tex, he beat MS Dosari, he beat Gorilla. It was crazy. It was crazy. I think Web is kind of showing the same thing today. Maybe not beating the champions, but coming here through that last chance qualifier, being one of the underdogs, and just showing himself, beating big names, making it towards the semi-finals to this point.
Great chance here. Oh, Vieira with those long legs. Again, it's a case of so close yet so far, to be honest with you, for MARCUZO a lot of the time. He's getting into these good positions. Ooh. Just as you think he's going to pull the trigger, a tackle comes in from one of those centre-backs, one of those CDMs from Nicolas. Talked about how good he's been defensively throughout this tournament. Least goals conceded. There's a reason that everyone's starting to fear him at the moment. Everyone's starting to almost talk about him as that potential Amsterdam champion, but MARCUZO's going to have something to say about that. Fires the ball across here. Lionel Messi. Ball inside now to Kyle Walker. Vieira's going to join the attack now. Oh, but Vieira again just steps out and wins it back.
I have to say, MARCUZO is playing with extreme patience. I can't emphasize that enough. He is playing so patiently, just launching balls from right to left, left to right, finding the gaps, dribbling, not sprinting in midfield. Very important. He does that really well, just waiting for the gaps to open, waiting for the potential gap to take a shot. He is not rushing things. He's not panicking. And that's a very good performance by him.
See a few changes coming in. You can see Kante brought on.
Yeah, already. It's something we see more often
all the time. Nicolas. It's what he loves to do. And you're going to see, I believe that was Ruud Gullit. That right-hand side as well, potentially. So he's going to be there for those back post crosses that come in. You know, he's got that huge frame about him. He scores so many goals. Arriving late with those headers.
Look at his
screen. He's got it all to do, hasn't he? You can see it.
This is something I've never seen anyone do this like MARCUZO does it. It's for his hands. I think he's got sweaty hands. I had that as a player as well. Very often, sweaty hands makes you hold your controller and use it in a worse way. I think that's his way to stop that, the sweating hands.
Neymar on the pitch now for Pele as well. One Brazilian for another. Again, we have to reiterate the fact that if MARCUZO can get one goal back here, maybe just before half-time.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many times have we seen in this tournament goals to equalise, sent to extra time in the last few moments of a game? As long as he can get one, there's always a chance of getting another.
Yeah. He has to get one back, but how is he going to do it? Without the sweaty hands? With the sweaty hands, the hands will get even sweatier during this game. Maybe a sweaty goal.
Maybe a sweaty goal indeed. Shake of the head there. Didn't feel that may have been a free kick. Kante now for Nicolas. Ronaldinho. Ball across. Ooh. Ronaldo. That could be a huge save from David De Gea. And how many times have we said that over the last few days?
Always David De Gea. Now MARCUZO. Last minutes of this first half. I'm so curious. He's still patient. That's my key word for this tournament. He is so patient. I like that in players. I know with myself, when I'm 2 goals down, especially against a good player, it's very hard. It's the hardest thing there is to keep that patience. You just want to rush the balls forward. You want to score. You got to go forward, especially when there's not much time left.
You can imagine the frustration that's going through MARCUZO's head, because you heard it from Kuhn himself. That pass misplaced, and again, that's pretty much going to be the half done here in the second leg. You know that Nicolas is going to protect that ball with his life. If he is going to find an opportunity, he's going to look for the perfect one. Ball into the box there. That should be the last action. Scary moment there in his own box, and there is the whistle. Half-time in our second leg. No goals to report in the first half there. Still 2 goals down.
When you see Nicolas like this, even now in half-time, there's just no sign of a lack of concentration. There's just nothing in his face, nothing that shows you, He might lose it now. He might start to lose the focus or whatever. There's nothing that tells me this is going to be a very, very tight second half of the second leg now.
I think the only time we've really maybe seen, you know, maybe not visually, and in the fact that he might be a little bit shaken, was that formation change in the quarterfinal. I think that's the only time, but even then, I think that might have been him putting pressure on himself, thinking, he wasn't even losing, was he? He went in and he was like, I wasn't happy with my performance in that first leg. I'm going to change and improve, try something different in the second leg. And that just goes to show what the mentality is like in the man.
No, you're right. Yeah, he was winning that first leg, and then Stefano Pina scored that last-minute equalizer. I think Nicolas was just unsatisfied because he only had 2 shots in that game. Stefano obviously defended extremely well in that quarterfinal. MARCUZO is defending extremely well as well. Still conceded 2 goals though. That's why he needs 3 in total. He needs 2 more goals.
Leon Goretzka again on in the midfield here for Nicolas. So that's 2 central midfield changes. We've seen Kante on the pitch. We've seen now Goretzka joining the action. Testament to what he thinks is a tactic that's working well for him, and who are we to argue at the moment? But MARCUZO's through on goal here. Is that going to be a goal? Is he offside? It's offside.
Ooh.
The reaction will tell you everything you need to know.
Oh, he can't believe it, can he, Mark? He can't believe it. That would have been the goal that got him back in this game entirely. Oh, what's this? Nicolas, okay. No stress.
As we say, sometimes these players know much better than we do in these situations. Now it's going to be Neymar bursting forward, and what a dagger in the heart it would be if Nicolas just went straight up the other end after that goal was disallowed for offside. Goretzka now picks the ball up. Neymar, smart play here from Nicolas, bringing Marcelo into the attack as well. Goretzka moving forward right now. Back to Marcelo, you can see the run ahead of him. Can't get the ball back here, MARCUZO though. Ball into the area. Ronaldo in a dangerous position, finds Hullet, swings with the left foot, but all he makes contact with is thin air.
Well defended again by MARCUZO. We have to remember, there's only 35 minutes left now. The more we get towards the end of the game, the harder it gets for MARCUZO to remain that patience, to remain his cool head. And you see him losing ball possession 2 or 3 times too fast now. But that's the hardest thing.
Last half hour or so in game for MARCUZO to keep his tournament life alive. At the moment, no one has managed to topple the Titan of Nicolas, but he's given the ball away here. Immediately wins it back. No one's beaten him so far in Amsterdam, the man from Argentina. Currently sat 10-0. He's well on his way to making that 11, and what a record that would be. Great tackle, though, from MARCUZO. Has the chance to get forward on the attack once again.
I'm just thinking, Mark, our queen in the Netherlands, she's from Argentina as well. Maybe if he wins it here in Amsterdam, maybe he can come visit her. I'm not sure if she's watching. They have 3 girls, 3 daughters, so maybe it's not on there, but people should tell them.
I was just about to say, you trying to claim that there's another Dutch player left in the competition because they've all gone home at the moment. You're going to claim him as your own. That doesn't quite work like that, unfortunately. Argentina might have something to say about that if he picks up a win here in Amsterdam. He's still doing such a great job of keeping the ball, tries to fire it into the front post, but De Gea now with that long throw up. But again, maybe that's a sign of a little bit of pressure here coming in. That's not something that we would have seen early on in the game from MARCUZO.
We're halfway through the second half of the second leg of this semi-final. What can MARCUZO do? I think he needs to go switch to his custom tactics, take all the risk he can possibly take. Because if the game goes on like this for another 10 minutes, it's going to get impossible for him. He needs to get that ball, get forward, and score 2 goals.
Ronaldo's in the box at the moment. Has to be careful, the ball goes across.
Oh my God.
Ball's clear though. MARCUZO now gets that ball away, but Ferdinand steps in. However, a poor touch from Rio Ferdinand. Something we don't say a lot of. He's going to give possession back. You can now see MARCUZO queuing up that pause in the top right-hand side of your screen, which means some changes tactically might be coming in. Neymar now.
Definitely.
Oh, just gives the ball away once again.
And Nicolas knows he's just got to do what he does best. Keeping the ball, keep possession. He doesn't need to go forward. He will, probably, knowing him as a player. Look at these balls. It's terrible for MARCUZO. He needs to to swap the pressure. Like, he's just pressing him on the left side of the pitch. NICOLAS just passes it towards his left back, and then MARCUZO needs to do everything to go press with 2-3 men on the right side of the pitch. Now to the left side of the pitch again.
And every time he does this, it's just eating up minutes in game as well.
Yeah.
It's not a case of, just looking for space. It's all about game management here. Seeing this game out, buying himself as much time as possible, keeping the ball away. Is that ball gonna just get around the edge of Leon Goretzka there in the mid, who was actually filling in at centre-back for a moment? Fortunately, it didn't. And now you're gonna see, again, switch of the play, Kante out to Marcelo. Again, all a very, very deliberate tactic here from NICOLAS. Finally, the ball goes out. I think that cue was paused. That pause, sorry, was queued up around the 70th minute. It's 10 in-game minutes until we can even think about changing these tactics.
Look at this, though. This is not the most exciting match in the sense of shots. One shot both, one shot each. The throw-in is for NICOLAS as well now, so we can probably say MARCUZO won't get the ball before the 85th minute. It's starting to become mission impossible now. 1 goal in 170 minutes against NICOLAS for MARCUZO. There's a very, very small chance he's going to score 2 in the remaining 10.
You say that.
You're right.
You say that.
I know what you're going to say.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
We've seen crazy things.
We've seen crazy things, but there's one player who has been incredibly consistent throughout the last couple of days. It is NICOLAS.
He's so consistent. It's crazy. You only win the Swiss format with 7-0 if you're consistent.
Here we go then. MARCUZO has a few moments to get back into the game. It's going to be another throw in here to NICOLAS, Argentina's finest. Neymar now going to burst down the side here. You can see all the pressures having to come in from MARCUZO. Ball across doesn't find his target, so at least the ball will be in the hands of MARCUZO.
Mark, it's got to happen now, Mark. If MARCUZO wants something out of this semi-final, it's got to happen now with this attack. This very attack. 6 minutes left.
Gets around the outside here with Mbappe. Back into
great.
Hullet. He's got a man over on the left-hand side. Strikes one goal, and he does get one back.
He does it.
5 minutes left on the clock for the man from Denmark to maybe find an incredible last-minute equaliser.
Wow. You can see 6 players up front. Mbappe just got on the pitch. Neymar with the goal. 6 players up front, impossible to defend for NICOLAS, and now there's 5 minutes left. Could he do it, MARCUZO? Could he do it? This had to be the attack to get that goal back in this game. Now, 5 minutes left, 1 goal. Ooh,
has to get the ball when NICOLAS is giving the ball away. Oh, but unfortunately for MARCUZO, he gives it away almost immediately as well. Just a few minutes left in game at the moment. Has to get this ball back here. Great tackle. Linesman decides that's going to be a throw-in going to NICOLAS, though. Every second that's passing at the moment is absolute torture here for MARCUZO. Another throw-in here for NICOLAS.
That's terrible for MARCUZO. Look at that. 2 men, aggressive pressure. NICOLAS is doing this very smart.
All the pressure's coming in from MARCUZO. Has to just nick this ball back.
2 minutes offside. So that means MARCUZO gets one more chance. One more chance for MARCUZO. Cannot lose the ball, cannot afford to lose it. He has to go forward. He has to hurry, though.
Has to hurry, but oh no, a pass.
No.
It's going to pretty much end this game. Neymar now in the box for NICOLAS.
Or maybe, is there time left? No.
There is no time, and the man who has been perfect so far here in Amsterdam continue his march. He's now in our grand finals. Congratulations to NICOLAS. Commiserations on the other sides of things to MARCUZO. What a tournament he has had. Most importantly, of course, he's going to be at the FIFA E-World Cup Finals in London. So objective 1 complete. Can't be disappointed whatsoever with that performance. 11-0 is the figure we are looking at right now, though. NICOLAS marches on.
11-0. I'm 12-0 up in the current weekend league, but this is something else, Mark. Complaints from the goals department. Is Martin Taylor always saying that in the game? I think it wasn't the game with the most goals, but it was like a chess game. 3-2 it ends. 3-2 in total. This is a great last goal by MARCUZO. Many players up front at the end of the game. He might have gone and switched to that new custom tactic a little earlier. But yeah, no matter what, 3-2 to NICOLAS, it's over.
That was the problem. I think, he cued that pause. That, unfortunately, it was NICOLAS who had possession. I think